Hey, how's it going? It's Devin with Devin's Card House, and I make daily TCG videos. Don't you see me on here Sunday, Saturday, Thursday, Tuesday? Every day there's a video. I'm working on it, guys. There will be daily TCG videos. That's in the title of the channel, so it's got to be true, right? Anyways, today we're talking about another controversy, a little more drama. Okay, and when it comes to these drama, controversial videos and things like that, number one, we're just having fun here. Okay, that's it. There's fun. I don't have the time and the brain power to know every single thing that's going on in the world at any given time. So I have to look at something, make a snap judgment, and then come on here and talk to y'all about it. And I am down to be proven wrong or be told that I'm missing out on something. And if you feel that way, be sure in the comments, don't just say you're wrong. Don't just say you're missing context. Say you're missing context. Here's the context. That helps with me figuring out what's wrong, what's right, or whatever about this stuff, these situations. So today's controversy, today's drama involves AI. It involves Wizards of the Coast taking a stand against AI, and then at the same time, it looks like they're doing the exact opposite. It looks like they're involving AI in their future. And this is also something that I don't really, I have a stance on it, but I think it's a little more complicated than everybody is making it out to be. It seems like there's some like crazy witch hunting that's going on online with some of the online community is at fault here by just going out of their way to see anything and screeching AI and sometimes even getting it wrong and totally putting people on blast who shouldn't be being put on blast. Those people shouldn't be getting the hate that they're getting because people online are jumping to conclusions. But then we also have, I think Wizards of the Coast knows what they should be doing, which is AI is bad. Don't use any AI. Any sort of AI inclusion in your art is shouldn't be done. And they know that their Twitter community, they know that their online people want to hear them say that. So they continue to say that, but then the actions that they take behind the scenes completely stand against what they're saying. And so they're putting themselves in hot water over what should be a non-controversy. Shouldn't be an issue. I think it's very easy for them to come out and just, instead of saying no AI ever, being like, we're going to use AI sometimes. And, this shouldn't be like affecting people's jobs. There's plenty of artwork that Magic the Gathering needs. And I've heard a lot of people online also say they're talking about how AI art just sucks and looks like shit. And sometimes it does, yeah, of course. Sometimes it looks pretty good though. And when you compare it to go back to fucking Oath of the Gatewatch and just look at the CG art that was made by some of the artists back then, like a lot of the art that they've already used that is not AI is not good. There's plenty of not good art in Magic. And when you have to think about like all the art that they have to make per set, you're making 250-ish pieces of art for your cards. Some of that art's just not going to be very inspiring or very good. You can't have 250 solid hits. So I don't know. I feel like using some sort of AI generative things for your chaff, like I would be down for something like that. Like maybe for our commons, we're going to use some AI, help, just some filters and things like that. But for our mythics and our high-end cards, there will be no AI. But also, you got to appreciate also the difference that like a company like Sorcery Contested Realm, which is, I appreciate that. If you're going to do that, do all hand-drawn, hand-painted canvases that you're taking the pictures of those canvases and putting that art is incredible. And like for them, I don't want to see any AI. Don't just keep doing what you're doing over there. Magic is a completely different beast, and with how they're churning out product, like, do you feel like Magic has the feeling of like hand-drawn, DIY, do it yourself? It's all kind of corporate mashed bullshit. So already, I've called it many times. It feels just like the McDonald's of of trading card games. So having some AI in there doesn't really affect me all that much, especially like, when you talk about video games, when you talk about like, there's plenty of things that already use AI generated components. I don't think it's this evil thing that everybody online is screeching about. They're trying to make it out to be. And especially Wizard seems to agree with me, but then says the opposite, which is going to get them in tons of shit. So, and also, I could be wrong. Like I'm saying, let me know in the comments if AI is just evil all the way around and shouldn't be used at all. Like I said, for Sorcery Contested Realm, I agree with that. For Magic the Gathering, I don't really care, as long as the art looks good, that's the most important thing. And, as long as they aren't overdoing it or, if they are like people are losing jobs over it or something like that, then yeah, okay, I totally agree with you on that space. So, so this controversy goes back a little ways back to around August of last year when D&D released. And so a lot of this also has to do with Dungeons and Dragons. It's not just, this is kind of just hitting Magic right now, but D&D has been dealing with this for a while. And there's a lot of this like AI creep is actually coming from the D&D side. So if you're a Magic player and you don't pay attention to Dungeons and Dragons at all, a lot of this could be like a shock or like oh my God, the Wizards of the Coast is using AI. It's like, yes, they've been trying to incorporate AI into D&D Beyond and the VTT for like over a year now. And it seems like the Dungeons and Dragons side is, when everyone was standing up against the OGL originally, this was kind of what they were fighting against as well, being like, we don't want Dungeons and Dragons to be taken over by artificial intelligence. So there was a book that came out. It was Big B Presents Glory of the Giants, and it was just a companion D&D book that gave stats for giants and things like that. But people noticed that the art itself just looked kind of off. Like a lot of people can tell AI art when it comes to like hands or feet or just like weird how things connect. Like AI has a sort of tendency to be kind of off in those, at least for now, it looks kind of off. So people were noticing that some of this art, like, and we're calling it out online. We're saying like, hey, this looks like AI art in your book. And one artist in particular, his name's Aya, Shipkin, Aya Shipkin, came out and basically said, since he was the person being called out, was saying, yes, there's this actually art that he used filtering tools after he drew the product and then filtered it with AI in order to get the final product. So, and I'll put it up here. It's kind of like the before and the after of him using like AI. And he's come out, and even on his Twitter bio, it says finding a path between AI and traditional painting. So he's a pro AI person. So he does his paintings and then he uses AI to enhance them. So, and some people, like, I can totally understand being like, well, that's shitty. And at least if you are doing that, like, you definitely got to like let people know. You can't like pretend that you're the one putting out this final product when you're actually using AI tools to get it to its final way. So having that put in the book and not letting anybody know about it. And the thing is, Wizards of the Coast didn't know about it. So Wizards of the Coast came out with this message after they found out that Shippen had been using AI tools in his art. And they said this: today we became aware that an artist used AI to create artwork for the upcoming book, Big B Presents Glory of the Giants. We have worked with this artist since 2014, and he's put years of work into books. We all love... books we all love. While we weren't aware of the artist's choice to use AI in the creation process for these commissioned pieces, we have discussed with him, and he will not use AI for Wizards' work moving forward. We are revising our process and updating our artist guidelines to make clear that artists must refrain from using AI art generation as part of the art creation process for developing D&D art. This all sounds great, right? And this is what I'm talking about. They're saying one thing here, that they're saying like, we didn't know about this. This has nothing to do with us. We stand with the community. We're for the community. We are not going to be using AI art going forward. And okay, that's cool. And you can appreciate that sentiment, and I can appreciate that sentiment. And if that's what they want to do, I am all for that. So, but then... people started getting like getting rumors coming across to them that not only or have they been using AI, and I know this it came out in a book that they did use AI here, even though it was unbeknownst to them, that they were using AI properties when it came to the VTT, the virtual tabletop for Dungeons and Dragons that they're developing to come out this year. And the thought here is like, why we have an issue with having our dungeon masters being prepared or having all the tools available to them to know how to run a campaign in E5 or 5e or whatever it's called, the 5th edition. And so why don't we just create AI dungeon masters, something that is aware of all the rules at all the time and can create campaigns for you just automatically, and you wouldn't even need a dungeon master anymore. And it's funny is if you go online and you look for this, it's not other companies are already doing this. Other companies are already using AI tools in order for you to create your own campaigns using an AI dungeon master. And so if other companies are doing this, why wouldn't Wizards of the Coast try to do it themselves too? And think about that. Getting rid of that dungeon master opens everybody up to just get in and join a campaign. You could go on and you could do a solo campaign like by yourself. You wouldn't need anybody. And so that's a kind of the thing that I think everyone is kind of like, it makes sense that they would try to do this. And so, but then they put out a message that said this: no one at Wizards of the Coast is working on AI DMs. We love our human DMs too much. If you're looking for a DM, we suggest heading into our Discord, where DMs and parties are looking for players. So that right there, they're at it again. Wizards of the Coast is saying, we're not doing this, okay? We're not doing this. There's no AI dungeon masters. There's no AI, all of this stuff. You guys are on a witch hunt. You're making this up. But then they come out and announce that they have a relationship with an Italian developer called Explored. And Explored is their whole thing is using AI tools on mixing AI, integrating AI with board games. So it kind of and people are already going to make that connection. They take digital tabletop assets and digitalize them and use AI components so people they have their game digitally enhanced. And this is so when D&D Beyond makes that statement that nobody from Wizards of the Coast is working on AI DMs, they're right, because it's not anybody from Wizards of the Coast. It's people from Explored, this Italian company. It's a third party. And that's where it's like, that's just a sneaky little thing to say. And of course you're like, okay, well, they're working on AI for Monopoly. They're working on AI for, I don't know, whatever other the My Little Pony board game. That's what they wouldn't touch D&D. And it's okay. And so the statements that were made from Hasbro from Adam Beal, he's the SVP and general manager for Hasbro Gaming. This is what he said: as a global leader in tabletop games, we envision a future where technology seamlessly integrates into analog gaming experiences. And working with Explored enables us to deliver innovative gameplay to our players and fans, limitless digital expansions to physical games, seamless onboarding, and powerful AI-driven game mechanics. And they're like, no, not for Dungeons and Dragons. We're going to leave that alone, even though that's literally, we're talking about how it's not monetized enough and how we need to up our monetization policies for Dungeons and Dragons. They're just leaving that out. They're only talking about Monopoly here, guys. Okay. And then David Garofalo, the founder and CEO of Explored, says this: Hasbro has a vast portfolio of brands and represents the most recognizable and iconic names in board games. These games have been bringing joy and entertainment to fans and families for generations, and we look forward to continuing that tradition by empowering Hasbro's brands with our smart Tebaru technology to enhance the user experience. So here, again, I'm not here making a judgment call on them trying to integrate AI with the company. It makes sense. It makes sense for the future. My only criticism here is you can't have this hardline stance where you're on Twitter saying like no AI, we're not using AI, but we're just partnering with a whole company that's whole deal is AI. AI, mixing AI and board games, and to say that we're not going to see that in our games, the tabletop games that we see, is just, it's the wrong message. They're trying to say to the people on Twitter what the people on Twitter want to hear, but in the meantime, they're doing the exact opposite, working with third-party developers to make AI tools for their systems, which isn't bad per se. It's how it's implemented and how it's affecting the people who could be losing jobs, or or if the art sucks, or if it doesn't work well, or but I could totally see a case where, hey, you can choose. You have a great DM. Let's get our real life DM to DM our game. But it's like, hey, we don't have a DM. I just want to pick up a scenario and try to run through it. Like, let's use the AI DM. It doesn't really, I think, it's not horrible to me. So let me know though, because I could totally be off about that, and I would love to hear other thoughts about like why you would never want an AI tool like an AI DM or something like that. So the controversy goes on though, because it was a couple weeks ago where a YouTuber, and this is where a YouTuber just like me came on here, and this is where the witch hunting starts, where they saw a new piece of art for Dungeons and Dragons. And here's what I feel: every piece of art that gets released by Dungeons and Dragons or Wizards of the Coast is going to be picked over with a fine comb in order to see if there's any AI elements at all. And this YouTuber found in this one piece of art that there are elements of AI. And then this started a domino effect of all these other YouTubers and people on Twitter coming after this artist and claiming that he's using AI. And he came out and said, no, there's no AI, you're completely wrong. And then Wizards came out with this statement: we became aware of community concerns that generative AI was used in an art piece we recently teased. We confirm with the artist that no generative AI was used, which is consistent with our artist guidelines restricting it. We're happy with the artwork and hope you enjoy it as much as we do. We can't wait to share more with you soon. So here's a whole guy, an artist who's just getting harassed by people online because they think he's using AI when he totally isn't. And then, so the YouTuber reached out to the artist and they made up. Apparently, it's all good now between them. And the YouTuber made a couple apology videos for stating it wrong. But I just feel like this is going to continue to happen, where people are going to be just like searching for AI where it might not even be there. And some of it, like when I see it, I can kind of see their point, like with the background in the art, like it kind of looks AI-ish to me. And so that's where things are getting we're getting to that uncanny valley. You can't even really like tell. It's just kind of weird. And like and there's been pieces of art for things I've wanted to buy where I've kind of held off on buying them because I was like, is that AI? And there is something about AI art where it's just not as valuable, art made by humans is more valuable. But does that mean that AI art itself is just completely worthless or should not be used at all? I don't think so. So more controversy comes out here. So Wizards of the Coast is like, fuck AI, we're not using any AI, but then proceeds, people go online, and these are you're having to compete with these people online who are going to literally grill everything you do. And what do they come to find? They find that WotC has a job listing for an AI driven artist, or somebody who can use AI to tune art. So literally what this guy who they just talked to saying that they're never going to use AI art, they're hiring somebody who does exactly what that guy just did. But again, they're saying it's not for the final product, and something about so I'm putting the job listing up here. They're paying this AI artist up to $116,000 to work on art, and but to not actually use their art in the final product, you won't see anything that this digital artist. So he could just be making concepts. He could just be, coming up with like certain ideas, and then people will like try to imitate his art. Like, who knows exactly? But they're saying that any AI generative tools will not be shown in the final product here. But they're hiring an AI artist. So that's what I'm saying here. It's a mixed message. Okay, so we're getting up to more of the controversy. So on December 19th, so after this listing came out, then Wizard of the Coast put out an article, and by article I mean a paragraph, that says this: generative artificial intelligence tools and magic. So this is what they say. For 30 years, Magic the Gathering has been built on innovation, ingenuity, and hard work of talented people who sculpt a beautiful, creative game. This isn't changing. Our internal guidelines remain the same with regards to artificial intelligence tools. We require artists, writers, and creatives contributing to Magic TCG to refrain from using AI generative tools to create final Magic products. We work with some of the most talented artists and creatives in the world, and we believe those people are what makes Magic great. And they're right. They're totally right about that. And that is a great statement to make. But, like, again, what's going on behind the scenes doesn't exactly reflect that. And so that's why I feel like having just a little declarative statement of why we're working with these AI tools, but we can't stand AI on the other end, So it's just kind of odd. So, okay, that happened. Everyone's like, okay, they're obviously using AI art. They're hiring AI artists. But then, new drama bomb drops. Magic releases a promotion for Ravnica Remastered with that is depicting the Shocklands with a background that's kind of like it looks like it's supposed to be Ravnica, and it's in some sort of laboratory-ish, and here it is, you can see it here. But people, again, because every piece of art is going to be completely scrutinized by everyone with a Twitter account, and they're going on there and they're looking at the lumens and the light bulbs, and they just don't connect how you would think a human would do it. And then here it goes. The witch hunt starts again. This is an AI background that Wizards of the Coast is using to promote these Ravnica Remastered and these cards. And lo and behold, this time they are right about it. And so with all these declarative statements about how they're not going to be using AI, now they just used AI in one of their promotions. But it's not the card game. So they just it's these little tricky statements that you use. So it's not going to appear in the card game, but it's going to premiere in our promotions. It's just like, just stop saying you hate it when you continue to use it. It's just backwards, and it doesn't make sense. Just say like, yeah, sometimes we're going to use AI. And everyone's going to hate that, and no one will agree with that, and you're going to get tons of shit online. I mean, and how much harder is it to have an artist just create this art? If you really want to stick with the statement that you don't want to use AI in your game, don't use it. But so Wizards released this statement after everyone came out and found out about this, and they said, well, we made a mistake earlier when we said that the marketing image we posted was not created using AI. As you, our diligent community, pointed out, I'm sure they love that. I'm sure they absolutely love that. It looks like AI components that are now popping up in industry standard tools like Photoshop crept into our marketing creative, even if a human did the work to create the overall image. They say, well, the art came from a vendor. It's on us to make sure that we are living up to our promise to support the amazing human ingenuity that makes Magic great. We already made clear that we require artists, writers, and creatives contributing to Magic TCG to refrain from using AI-generative tools to create final Magic products. Now we're evaluating how we work with vendors on creative beyond our products, like these marketing images, to make sure that we're living up to those values. So again, they come out here and they state this, that they're not going to be using AI, and they need to be better about it. And so, okay, we're going to take them at face value here. But it is just funny that after all these statements, it does immediately show up again. And then not only is this pissing off the Twitter community, but it's pissing off the artists who work for Magic the Gathering. And one artist in particular, Dave Raposa, wrote this after they made that statement. And he says, and just like that, poof, I'm done working for Wizards of the Coast. You can't say you stand against this and then blatantly use AI to promote your products. Emails sent, goodbye you all. And his art is fantastic. His Zendikar Rising pieces with Nahiri and Nissa and Jace are all fantastic, and he's a super talented artist that Wizards is losing here, and that's really what it is. And here's the deal: if they did come out and they were just like, "Hey, we're going to use AI," they would have lost him anyways. So, what Dave needs here is just a no AI policy. And you look at his art, and it's just fantastic. And to lose that it's horrible. It sucks for the game, and it sucks for him to be losing out on work. But it's important for him that he takes this stand here and doesn't give any promotion to AI, and he doesn't want to work with AI, and I totally can understand that. So it is a mixed message here, and I'm having trouble. I totally agree with him doing what he wants to do by not working with the company, and it's really awesome that somebody as talented as him can take that step and stand against AI and be like, I don't want this in any capacity in this game, or I'm not going to be involved. I mean, that's really cool. So I got to give props to that. I mean, I don't feel so hardline on it, but like I said, I could totally be wrong. I'm down to be wrong. Let me know how I'm wrong. But I do totally support someone's decision to stand by their principles, and if their principle is against AI, then that's great. So So the drama and everything going on, it's kind of weird, and the most of the drama that I find interesting is the mixed messaging that Wizard of the Coast continues to give. To on one hand be like, we're not going to use AI, we stand against AI, and on the other hand, we're working with AI third-party companies, we're hiring AI artists, we're using AI in our marketing materials, even though it obviously seems like they don't want to. And I don't hate Wizards of the Coast for any of this. This seems like, AI is a tool that I think every business is looking into to see how they can incorporate AI and to save them money, to get things done quicker, things like that. It's just, how can we use AI where it doesn't affect the game? And the game like Magic is so based around its art. I can totally agree with the other end of it, where it's like there shouldn't be any sort of AI in here too. But I kind of feel like they lost that to me when they started using CG based art that just looks horrible. Like I said, go back to that Battle for Zendikar, go back for that where they like kind of dove into CG computer generated art that just looked absolutely terrible. And if we're using computers to that capacity, why can't we use computers to this new capacity? And I think when it comes to certain items, I don't think I would care that much. When it comes to like your top end cards, I'd want to see like your hand drawn art, your paintings, the Scott M. Fisher art. I mean, that's top of the line. That's incredible stuff. And if they want to just stick to that, I'm totally down with that as well. So, and it supports artists and everything like that. So, like I'm saying, I'm just kind of have a mixed feeling here. I'm not set one way or the other, but I do understand kind of both sides of it. Like, I don't get upset at video games that they use some AI generation, but this is something completely different. It's tabletop, so I can understand how people really want that kind of that hand-drawn stuff. But that's what makes Sorcery Contested Realm so great, and it has that contrast there. So when it comes to Magic, I don't really care that much. If Sorcery started doing it, I'd be like, oh my god, don't do that, that's horrible. So if that makes any kind of sense. So anyways, let me know how you feel about AI. Let me know how if I'm wrong on this at all. I would love to know that. And like I said, with any of these drama stuff, or I'm just talking to you about like what's going on and having fun with it, okay? I'm not really really upset or mad at anybody. And like I said, I don't always have the full picture. So if I'm missing any of the full picture, please put it down in the comments. Don't just tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong and why. Okay? I appreciate that. Anyways, that's it for the drama today. I hope you guys have a great day. I want to thank my patrons and my subscribers, and thank you for watching this this video and explaining the drama of AI and Wizards of the Coast. So I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll talk to y'all later, okay? Bye-bye.
Governor Jesse Ventura, to send you, Devin, a little bit of a message, my friend. You need to quit slacking. You, I heard lately, have been skipping your workouts. What's going on, my man? You want to turn into a little fat porker?